This is News 8 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for watching News 8 Now. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Fierce winter weather is being blamed for at least 55 deaths across the country, along with power outages and water worries. About half of those deaths are in Buffalo, New York, after the city's worst snowstorm in decades. CBS's Dave Graber has the details.
Blistering cold, hurricane-force winds, and close to 50 inches of blinding snow. Officials are calling the Christmas blizzard the worst winter storm to blow through Buffalo.
This blizzard is the one for the ages. Certainly it is the blizzard of the century.
At least 28 people have died in western New York, and the death toll is only expected to rise. New York Governor Kathy Hochul says she's spoken to many first responders as the search, rescue, and recovery continues.
Going into homes, going into vehicles, and too many tragic times finding people who did not survive the experience.
The storm is forcing driving bans to continue in Buffalo and surrounding communities, with the lesser travel advisories everywhere else. Many on Buffalo's east side are still stuck in their homes, while vehicles still litter side streets and highways.
There's cars everywhere, pointing the wrong direction on roads. There's abandoned buses on roads, so it's a very, very tenuous situation.
Thousands of residents around Buffalo are without power, and a state of emergency remains in effect. It's a storm that's affecting lives all across the country, even bringing cold weather deep into the south. Like in Jackson, Mississippi, where residents are under a boil water notice after water line breaks from freezing temperatures.
We can't cook. We're getting ready to order DoorDash because we can't cook, we can't wash our dishes.
And in North Carolina, where 200,000 people lost power, many of them still in the dark.
Some of the major grocery stores in Western New York will reopen today, and that is good news for some of our neighbors who have been stuck in their homes, some of them without power since late on Thursday in Buffalo, New York. I'm Dave Graber.
And looting has also been a problem in Buffalo, where authorities say people are taking advantage of the misery for their own gain. The police department activated an anti-looting detail and are making arrests, with several just this morning. AAA is once again keeping you safe into the new year. Through the morning of January 2nd, AAA will provide transportation for impaired drivers through their Tow-to-Go program. If you're in a pinch and cannot carpool or call an Uber after your New Year festivities, call Tow-to-Go and AAA will take you and your vehicle to a safe location. Tow-to-Go has helped 25,000 drivers during the holidays for 25 years, but they do remind you to only consider this as a last resort option. Up next.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Sure is a nice, quiet start to the afternoon. As you can see behind me from City Cam 8, a little bit of some cirrus cloud cover there. Notice the camera shaking here a little bit. That's because we are looking at some gusty winds there at times, with current temperature readings into the teens and the low 20s. We got 23 degrees in Winona and 16 in La Crosse. We're just shy of 20 right now in Sparta, but the temperature is actually 20 degrees in Black River Falls, 16 in Viroqua, and we're into the upper teens in Bosquabel and Prairie du Chien. But if you factor in the winds, it makes it feel much colder, because it does feel like it's 2 degrees instead of the actual temperature in La Crosse, and it feels like a 7-degree reading currently in Sparta. Temperatures feel like 13 in Winona, and single-digit reading feel like temperatures currently in Eau Claire with 3 degrees here for you. Cloudy skies continue to move in across the area. A little bit of some light snow here to the north. That should stay away, but the cloud cover will continue to persist kind of off and on throughout the day, kind of fluctuating between partly to mostly cloudy, with temperatures warming up into the 20s here in the next hour or so. And that south wind in place today should help keep our temperatures from getting too cold. In fact, what they're going to do is really just warm us up to seasonable levels today, followed by above normal high temperatures tomorrow and Thursday, and we'll talk about that in a second, Ken.
All right, can't wait. Thanks, Derek. Well, back to the news side of things. No one is injured after a man reportedly fired a gun on La Crosse's north side. It happened around 5 on Christmas Day near Avon and Clinton Streets. Witnesses told police 33-year-old Luke Springer of Fort Worth, Texas, was driving carelessly, and when Springer was approached about it, he fired a gun. Police say Springer was intoxicated and that the shooting is an isolated incident. He's being held in the La Crosse County Jail on several charges, including first-degree recklessly endangering safety. A Christmas morning fire destroyed a Genoa restaurant and claimed the lives of 2 cats. People in Big River Bar and Grill and the tenant in the upstairs apartment were able to evacuate. Several area fire departments worked together to haul in water and put out the fire, but it burned close to 8 hours before it was completely out. Cause of that fire still under investigation. No one is injured after 2 Sparta homes caught fire over the holiday weekend. The Sparta Area Fire District responded to a basement fire Friday evening. Cause of the fire was a heat lamp used to warm water pipes in the basement. The second fire happened Christmas morning in an attic due to faulty wiring. Both homes had moderate water and smoke damage, and the fire department was on the scene of both homes for 2 hours apiece. The recent stretch of frigid weather is also keeping local plumbers pretty busy. Below freezing temperatures can cause water in pipes to freeze, which would then cause pipes to burst. The owner of 608 Plumbing says the biggest issue he sees are pipes that are installed incorrectly or where they shouldn't be. Pipes in or near outer walls can freeze much easier. And the owner says if a cold air breeze from a window is hitting your pipes, they could also freeze.
Insulation is going to be really crucial, but it's not going to go and do the trick 100%. You should also have a heat source. So if you have some place that's susceptible to going and getting a lot of breeze and a lot of air coming through where it might go and freeze up that pipe, make sure that there's some type of heat source there.
Gunderson also recommends keeping a little water running so it doesn't have the chance to freeze, and make sure you unhook your outdoor hoses. Still to come this afternoon, a shakeup for TV subscriptions. A longtime DirecTV NFL package gonna have a new home.
We all have our favorites, and this week we share ours. It's our top 8 at 10. Tonight on News 8 Now at 10, we'll show you some of our favorite stories from the past year. It's a look back at 2022, because it's what you do at the end of the year.
The New York Stock Exchange was closed on Monday in observance of the Christmas holiday. Courtney Keeley has the latest business headlines from New York.
Holiday sales grew this year by 7.6%, despite still stubbornly high prices due to inflation, according to data from MasterCard Spending Pulse. That's still a lower pace than last year's growth of 8.5% right after the pandemic. This latest data does not include auto industry sales and is not adjusted for inflation. And next season, NFL Sunday Ticket will have a new home. The National Football League reached a multi-year agreement to stream its Sunday games viewing package on YouTube. The subscription price has not yet been determined, and the NFL says it will work with YouTube to determine distribution for commercial establishments such as bars. Since it was first launched back in 1994, Sunday Ticket has only been available on DirecTV. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Courtney Keeley.
As we head to break, let's get a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Stay with us. More news is coming up. The power of meditation and the importance of spontaneous baby movements. Christian Benavides has more of today's top health stories.
Researchers at the University of Tokyo say there is a reason why babies can hardly keep still. They found all those kicks, wiggles, and seemingly spontaneous movements form patterns of muscle interaction that aid in their ability to perform sequential movements and have coordination as infants. A new study finds females are generally better than males at putting themselves in someone else's shoes. Researchers at the University of Cambridge studied scores from a test that measures cognitive empathy for more than 300,000 participants in 57 countries. They found females scored significantly higher than males across all countries, languages, or age. Group meditation may decrease collective stress and subsequently lower crimes and deaths, according to researchers in Iowa. A study from Maharishi International University, where staff and students practice transcendental meditation, looked at the impact of group meditation on stress-related tragedies in the U.S., overlapping the work of meditators with FBI and CDC statistics. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Time now to get a live look outside through City Cam 8. Looking not too bad out there. Derek's in next with our full forecast.
Well, it sure is a beautiful start to the afternoon. As you can see here from City Cam 8, check out the thick cirrus clouds there developing in the background. Let's get a check now on those current conditions in La Crosse. 16 degrees. A feel-like temperature, though, of 2 degrees when you factor in the wind speeds around 14 miles an hour. And we just saw Ken there. We'll get to Ken in just a second. Visibility at around 10 miles. River stage 4.92 feet, and it is rising. Current conditions to the north in Eau Claire. Well, you see you got some snow on the ground here. 17 degrees. Feel like temperature of 3 when you factor in south-southeast winds at around 14 miles an hour. Current temperatures here across the map. Well, you can see we're at 19 degrees now in Sparta. Feeling a little cool there in Black River Falls at 20. 17 degrees in Viroqua. 19, just shy of 20 in Prairie du Chien. And check out these wind chill values. It feels much colder than the actual temperature from the winds outside. A feel-like temperature of 3 in Eau Claire, as we saw. It feels like 11 degrees, though, in Black River Falls, and a feel-like temperature of 7 in Sparta. Now, our high temperatures today are not quite done rising. We should be rising at least into the mid-20s come this afternoon. But some spots like Eau Claire and way north to around the Ladysmith area in Rusk County, probably only reaching the low 20s before it's all said and done. And you can see those clouds moving in across the area from the northwest. There's a bit of snow here to the north, but I think that's mainly going to stay away from us. We'll just be left over with partly to mostly cloudy conditions, kind of going back and forth there, with temperatures holding steady into the 20s pretty much all day long today. And you'll see that on Sky Tracker with temperatures in the 20s. The clouds increase here at times here across the area, and the same can be said as we head into tonight with partly to mainly cloudy skies with temperatures in the 20s. Notice how our temperatures really warm up, though, into the upper 30s, low 40s with some clouds here around the area. Rain, snow here kind of staying to the north. 11 o'clock by tomorrow should be looking at mainly cloudy skies for the nighttime hours, and then we should be looking at a mainly cloudy day here for Thursday out ahead of our next system, which is probably going to bring some rain showers here to portions of central Minnesota here through time. But we here on the other hand should remain mainly cloudy with only a slight chance of rain here later in the day Thursday, and we'll get to that in a second. Check out the next 8-day temperatures. I think you'll like this, warming up into the 40s tomorrow and Thursday, and then the 30s here over the next several days after that through the weekend and also into early next week. And the reason being is because we expect a pattern change. Yeah, a warmer air mass is moving in from the south out ahead of this next disturbance developing to the west, and out ahead of it's going to drive in that south wind to give us some much warmer air to work with. That's why those temperatures are expected to climb into the low 40s for tomorrow and Thursday. That chance of rain Thursday there, and then our high temperatures will at least be into those mid to upper 30s from Friday through the weekend and also into early next week. You can see on the bottom there, those low temperatures also rising at least into those upper 20s to low 30s. So not too cold there in the morning either. Now we will be again watching out for that chance of rain on Thursday, and then there is another potential disturbance that could move in on Monday, Ken, to give us a chance of rain, snow. That is a little bit far away, but it's something to monitor over the coming days.
All right, but hey, we're warmer.
Yeah, a lot warmer. I mean, you know, these temperatures here that you see on your screen are well above average. You know, we're supposed to be in the 20s, but instead, the 40s, I don't think we're going to complain about that one.
No, the region's going to enjoy that for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Derek.
Yep.
Coming up next, the U.S. Postal Service is almost as busy as Santa elves during the holiday season. How they make the impossible possible. Welcome back. The U.S. Postal Service has delivered more than 10 billion packages and pieces of mail this holiday season. Heather Brown shows us how they do it all.
So it's 5 o'clock right now and you're still delivering mail.
Yes.
What time did you start this morning?
Started at 6 this morning.
By the end of the day, Bernie Schroeder will have delivered to 500 homes.
Oh gosh, is it always like that?
This time of year, yes.
He and the other carriers leave the back of the Eagan Post Office each morning with full trucks.
This is where all the trucks come in.
Dana Smith oversees the customer service.
When the carrier comes in the morning, they grab their packages.
Which they then sort by address.
They get all their other mail ready, and then they leave through that door.
The hundreds of letters Bernie will deliver that day have already been sorted the night before.
What we're doing is breaking it down, letters, parcels, flats, etc.
At a 90-acre mail processing plant a few miles away in St. Paul.
So this building will run all night long?
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
First, they flatten the pieces of mail that come from the trucks to the conveyor belt so they can be fed into this machine.
So this machine will flip the card in the right direction.
Correct.
It'll scan the zip code.
Correct.
It will also spray in orange an ID tag, and then will spray in black a barcode that holds all of the address's information.
How fast is this moving?
Fast. roughly 32,000 hours.
From there, the machine sorts the letters by location into 12 different bins. Those bins are then brought to other machines, which sort by zip code and finally individual address.
So what this machine does, it now sorts it by address.
Correct. And walk sequence for the carrier.
Which means the letters are now all in the right order for the carrier's route. At the same time, from above, the barcodes on packages are being scanned too.
Each bin has its own post office.
Right. It could go to Northfield, it could go to Egan, St. Paul, whatever. We'll run all night, all the way until the morning, roughly about 3:45.
So this mail will be on trucks tomorrow morning?
Yep, be delivered tomorrow morning.
Where Bernie will be waiting.
This time of year, it's fun when you're delivering all the packages.
Heather Brown.
They're like, oh, yay, it's here. Thank you. You made my day.
WCCO.
That makes you feel good.
4 News.
Stay with us. We'll have one more Tech Year forecast when we come back.
High temperatures today rising a little bit further to 26 degrees this afternoon. Cloudy skies tomorrow with a high of 41. We stay in the 40s on Thursday. There's a chance of rain, though, for Thursday, however. Otherwise, the rest of this week, mainly cloudy and pretty mild with highs into the upper 30s, lows into the 20s and low 30s.
All right. Thanks very much, Derek, and thank you for watching. We'll see you all tomorrow.